This is Cornell Notes, Lesson 2-3, Course 2, and I am Mrs. McCowan. Today, our topic is subtracting integers. In the top left-hand corner, where it says topic, write subtracting integers on your Cornell Notes. Write the page number and today's date also on your paper. Okay, for the first subtopic, write modeling integer subtraction. For number 1, we're going to write on our number line starting at 0. I'm going to go to positive 3, and then I'm going to subtract 8. So that means when I subtract, I move to the left. So I'm going to move to the left 8. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I should be at -5. So the answer to 3 minus 8 equals -5. For number 2, it says -4 minus 2. So I'm going to start at 0, go to -4. From here, I'm going to subtract 2. When I subtract, I move to the left. That is correct. So I'm going to move to the left 2. 1, 2. And I end up at -6. So my answer is -4 minus 2 equals -6. Okay, our next topic in our notes is subtracting integers by adding the opposite. Okay, so for the first one we have -5 minus 9. I'm going to change this to a plus sign in between them and show that this is a -9. This is adding the opposite. So this helps me remember when we're adding negative numbers. When I add two negative numbers, it's like adding 5 and 9 together. So I know that 5 negative plus 9 negative equals 14. That is correct. So my answer for -5 plus -9 is -14. Now number 4 is different. We have a -9 minus a -2. Whenever we see two negative signs beside each other, that becomes a positive. So in your notes, make sure you write -9 plus 2. When two negative signs are beside each other, adding the opposite creates a positive sign. So now I'm going to start at 0, go to -9, and then I'm going to add 2, which means I go to the right, so I'm adding 2, and I end up at -7. That is correct. For number 4, I have another adding the opposite, so a negative equals a positive. So I have -4 plus 3. Now I can solve my problem. I start at 0, go down to -4, and then I'm going to add 3. So when I go to -4, add 3, I am at -1. That is correct. Okay, our next topic is evaluating expressions with integers. So we're going to solve two problems with expressions. So my first problem is a minus b if a equals -6 and b equals 7. So we're going to substitute those into the equation. So I have -6 minus 7 Okay, I don't have two negatives, so I'm actually subtracting 7. So if I drew this on a number line, -6 minus 7, I go to the left, another 7 is -13. Number 5, the same thing. If I solve a minus b, a is 14, and b is -9. Hey, looky here, I have a plus sign now because two negatives equal a plus sign. So 14 plus 9 equals 23. Okay, this is the last problem in our notes. Number 8, find the difference between 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit and 250 degrees Fahrenheit. We know that the difference problem, it means subtraction. So we're going to be subtracting. So -3,000 minus -250. Uh-oh. Well, we have a negative. What does that mean? Plus. So I'm going to have -3,000 plus 250 equals That's correct. It's -2,750 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, so write in your notes a summary. I learned to subtract integers. I know how to add the opposite of a number. I reviewed how to evaluate with expressions. If you have questions, you can ask Mrs. McCowan in class.